publicized 3-time world champion in horseshoe throwing. And if horseshoes bring luck, well, then Mark Roth is in for trouble.
Well, we're going to see a very unusual style with Walter Ray Williams. Right away, Roth wants a re-rack on lane 17. Doesn't like it. During the course of the tournament, that lane did seem to have a problem with the pins being exactly on spot as people were still walking around here. Roth was a little bit upset.
It was one of the first things you said after match play was completed last night, that the rack on 17 was off.
Right, they needed to work on it, and they did. It's much better today. Roth told us in between that he got a little bit soft on those 2 splits that he got. Wants to maintain the speed. The interesting thing was, as he leaves the week 10 here, it seemed like that when he left that solid 8, it got him angry, and that anger got the adrenaline going and pumped him up to strike out. Now he's had time to cool off in between games and see if he keeps throwing strikes. He's got to get mad all over again now.
Left 2 open frames and finished with a 215.
Straight and hard at the 10 pin. Bang. Walter Ray, one of our contemporary players, throws a big hook ball.
So Mark wincing a little bit. He had a little pain in his right shoulder last night. And that time he was holding his lower back, too.
Four-step player. It appears like arms and legs are going everywhere. As he sends it out to the right, brings it back, carries the light hit. When he gets strikes going, he is very animated. See how the giant steps, arms and legs going everywhere, way out of the lane, lifts it. Amazing.
He tosses horseshoes with 88% accuracy at times. They're 40 feet away. The alley is 60 feet.
That cupped wrist underneath the ball. This lane is tighter. He's bringing it in. Solid 10, and we have seen that on lane 17. I don't know how many times today, but several. Pappas left a few.
Roth just left one a moment ago.
But it was Roth was weak. Walter Ray has an interesting way of shooting spares. He's using a harder ball. Plus, he uses only 2 fingers in the ball, his ring finger and the thumb. Throws it to throw it straight at the spare, and 2 straight, and it fell in the gutter. Oh, just what he did not want to happen, to give Roth an opening right away.
Yes, that first PBA title will not come easy.
Just fell off his hand a little bit here, and it's just backing up, and it won't bite the lane.
What's the difference between weak and solid 10?
The weak is where the 6-pin doesn't get, as he gets a light shaker, does not get up. It does not have, the ball does not have strong enough roll to send that 6-pin to the wall and back up to get the 10. The solid 10 is we get a replay here of Roth's last strike where he'll come in light and the head pin goes to the wall and cleans out the 4, 5, 7. The solid 10 is where the ball hits the pin so hard the 6 flies up and over or around the 10 and never touches it. A little soft. Right there, though. He's got it down now. I thought he kind of stroked that ball, but the ball held pocket for him.
It's a 22-pin lead for the great PBA veteran Mark Roth.
And Walter Ray sees what opening to it. It's like bleeding in front of a shark to open in front of Mark Roth. Sends it out. Here it comes. There's your weak 10. You see the ball, that 6-pin would not get up to get that 10. That's the weak 10 right there. Usually that happens for one of 2 reasons. Either the player didn't get enough lift on his fingers, or the ball came in behind the pocket, and it's such an angle that the 6-pin goes to the wall and kind of dies there. Again, 2 fingers at the spare, and we got this one. 18's hooking a little bit more than 17, and
he was so a little nervous about that.
Yes, he was.
Here's a look at where we are right now.
28 in the second, spare up. 20 in the first, the double working, the difference 22 pins. Walter Ray takes very little time. A little high, and trips the 4-7 out. He claps his hands together.
Well, he clapped so hard, I think he blew that pin down. Now back to Mark Roth in the 4th frame and his 2nd TV appearance in 2 weeks.
We may set a record for the shortest game ever bowled with these two players bowling. Comes in light and gets the bucket crumbler off the wall.
Not the easiest way to strike, but
he'll take it. Now he barely hits the head pin with this ball. The ball ticks the head pin and just ticked the 2 pin, and the 2 pin fell in with something else into the 5/8 there.
Is that a result of his power?
No, that's probably a result somewhat of the power and the pins with these double voids that we have. Just on a more substantial pin, that ball never would have struck. Back in the 1-3 pocket, and gets a rough tap on the 10, and he's off and running. Getting all the breaks this game.
Mark Roth roaring his way through this game. Now 4 straight strikes and an amazing 42-pin lead. We'll be back with Williams and Roth on USA in just a moment.
In the stands for the last time.
Years old and growing up quickly as he battles Mark Roth.
Well, he's down by 42 pins. We're bowling in the 5th frame, and it's almost a must-strike frame already. His best finish this year was 3rd in the true value, and he wants to improve on that. He needs to defeat Roth to do that. And is he going to get the 10? No. Good shot. Just did not get a good break on that. Pin came across the lane, but couldn't knock the 10 out of there. And he's in big trouble as he takes the other ball, shoot the 10 pin. Two fingers of this, ring finger and the thumb. Has the spare. And right now, you're already thinking in potentials. The best Walter Ray can do if he strikes all the way out with 7 straight strikes is 238. As we see the difference there, 80 with a double working for Roth, 68 with a spare working. The difference, 42 pins. Back in the pocket, solid 10 again. 3 10 pins already. Or is it 4? It's 4 10 pins. He's got 4 10 pins in 6 frames. And there's his mother, Esther.
Esther Williams. She told me just a few minutes ago that she's not a good swimmer.
Has the 10 pin. No problem. Roth, who's gotten all the breaks this game, now can absolutely put his opponent away. Here it comes. He has what is known, Alan, as that killer instinct. There's no mercy in Mark Roth.
In no other sport is it more appropriate to say you're on a roll, and Mark Roth is. 5 straight strikes. He'll get set to bowl in the 7th frame now. He finished 3rd this year at the Firestone Tournament of Champions, and for all the awards and all the accolades he's received, that's been the one title that has eluded him.
If he wins today, he can be second all-time, second in the number of titles all by himself. Go ahead of Dick Weber. Comes in light and blows him out of there. The 7th pin fall. And as you say, he is on a roll, and when he gets it going, there's nobody that does it better. I can't make out what he said. Could you read his lips there? Did you see that smack those hands there? I think he said, come on.
And finally, the smile.
And another 10 pin and it falls. Walter Ray hasn't given up. 63 pins down with 3 frames to go, but he hasn't given up. But if he strikes all the way out, the best he can do is 227, and Roth would have to open twice.
Come on, get down. All right.
He hasn't bowled a bad game. He's had every ball in the pocket. The 10 pin just would not cooperate. It's a little high. Leaves the 7-10. The 4-pin trips out. He can't believe it.
Now, who was the last one to make this on television?
His opponent. The one and only one to make this on television, as far as I know.
Mark Roth.
It goes a little bit high right here. The 2-pin goes to the wall. The 10-pin standing. The 2-pin trips out the 4. Leaving the 7-10. And it bounced around back there, but it's all academic now. Mark Roth is going to go on to face Ted Hannes for the Northern Ohio Open. Mark even has a bad wreck on 18, and he's shooting. He doesn't even care at this point.
I don't know how you can see that.
Well, the 3-pin is in close. He breaks up the split, leaves the 3-6-10. Just lost concentration right now, and he's just finishing it out.
Would the bad rack have anything to do with that result?
I doubt it. Right now, he's just finishing out the game. Wants to keep his concentration, keep his stroke. Williams is going to finish third again, equaling his best finish. As well as he bowled this week, as Roth threw the ball straight at the 3-6-10. Mark is a great spare shooter, but very seldom does he hook a ball at a spare. He'll hook a ball at, say, the 7-pin or the 4-pin or the 4-7. Most of the others, he throws the ball straight in. And when he throws it hard and straight, it goes down there on a line. Oh, he's lost his line just a little bit. The match is over, and suddenly he's relaxed. He's eased up a little bit. 6-7. Last 2 shots both through the nose.
As soon as he smiled, 2 frames ago.
Right. He's got to be mad to bowl well. That's what he had going throughout the entire last half of the 70s. He was always angry, and he was always winning. 9 out. He's in 214 in the 9th frame. Walter Ray, the best he can do if he strikes out is 195. And he's only had 1 ball home. Missed a spare. Puts it right back in the pocket. That one carries. It goes so fast, Alec. You get 1 opportunity. He's bowled all year. He's made 1 other championship round. And the game is over so fast before he knows what's happened. It's over.
Yes, he had all day to think about it.
There's Roth just blowing out a little air, saying, let me at Hannes.
Mark sat around today and watched soap operas. It was a rainy day in Cleveland today.
As it is a lot of times. There he finishes out with a double. First one of the match for him.
I would imagine every time you appear on TV, you get a little bit older in a bowling maturity sense.
Definitely, you get more used to it. But you're always nervous. At least I am. I'm always nervous.
Well, when you stop being nervous, that's when I guess you just stop bowling.
I guess you stop breathing then, yeah, or something. Back in the pocket again. At least he finishes out with a respectable 195 with 1 more strike.
I mean, Mark Williams hasn't won a title yet, and he just gets nervous to do stats for us, right?
Finishes it out. Another solid 10. 5 of them in the game. Boy, 194 sure could have been a lot more. 5 10 pins.
When the night is over, Walter Ray's probably going to run down the lane and kick that 10-pin over.
Well, I'll join him. There's a 10-pin for Roth.
And Roth may join the 2 of you.
Mark picks it up. He can finish with 234. Interesting, he had 7 strikes last game for 216. If he makes this and strikes, he'd have 7 strikes here for 234. It bounced out again. Did you see that? He would have had the 7-10 again. I wonder how many of those he's made in his life. I'll bet he's made a bunch.
It will be 230-something for Mark Roth. Last ball of the match. Ted Hannes, meanwhile, throws a practice ball off about 10 lanes to our right.
Right over the 3rd arrow. Right solid, the 1-3 pocket. 234. Fine exhibition of bowling by Roth.
Mark Roth, 234. Walter Ray Williams Jr., 194. For Mark Roth, he'll be bowling for his first title since 1982.